Hi everyone. Today I am giving you information on the topic pupil and its responses. So let's move to the basic. The pupil is the black hole in the middle of the iris. Muscles in the iris control the size of the pupil. Usually this happens how much light is available. Okay. So let's see. If you can see here that this one is the black part and the black part is a hole which is known as a pupil. Next one is the colored part. This one colored part is known as iris. Okay. So the pupil is present in between the iris, which is a black hole or a small hole, and the size of the pupil or the size of the hole becomes changes according to the availability of light. How much light is available? According to the availability of light, the size of the pupil gets changed. This makes the pupil an important part of our vision system, because when we shine a torch inside the pupil, then it responds or it reacts. By this reaction, we will get to know that what is the visual condition of the eye. That's why it is very important part of our eye. Okay. Next one, what are the functions? Now, what are the functions of the pupil? The pupil lets light enter into the eye as the muscles of an iris change its shape. The lens in the eye focuses the light that passes through the pupil. Light then goes back to our eye and hits on the retina. Okay. So as we all know that the pupil always help. Pupil is a small hole which is present here. Okay. Light first of all shines on the cornea, then it gets moves to the pupil, then it strikes on the lens and then focus on the retina, hits on the retina. Okay. As it hits on the retina, then the retina turns light into electrical signal. This is a function of the retina. At the retina, the macula is present, macula fovea is present, at which the image is formed. Okay. So the light signals are turned into electrical signals with the help of retina. Brain receive these electrical signals and it turn the electrical signals into images. So in this way we are able to see. First of all, the light get enter from the pupil into the iris. Okay. And then move to the lens, then pass on through the different liquids of the eye, which are the aqueous humor as well as the vitreous humor. Then it gets strikes on the retina. After striking on the retina, that light gets turned into electrical signals. Brain receive those electrical signals and convert them into images. In this way we are able to see. Okay. So this is a long process. Muscles in the iris control how the pupil open and close. Different types of muscles are present inside the iris, and those muscles controls the how the pupil is supposed to open and when the pupil is supposed to close. The iris dilator muscles open the pupil from inside out. Okay. If you can see here, two types of muscles are present in the iris. Okay. Now here the dilation is shown. Okay. The pupil is dilating. Dilating means it becomes bigger. If you can notice here in the right eye, if we consider this one is the right eye and this one is the left eye, the pupil is dilate here. Okay. So and the pupil is non-dilating here. It is in normal condition. This one shown is the iris. Okay. Two types of muscles are present here. These one are the circular muscles which are present, and those are the radial muscles. Okay. So pupillary dilator muscles are the radial muscles. These muscles helps to dilate the pupil. Okay. And next one are the constrictor muscles. These circular muscles are the constrictor muscles. So both these helps to contract as well as relax, opens or closes. The iris dilator muscles open the pupil. Okay. These are the dilator muscles. Dilator muscles are the radial muscles. This helps to open the pupil, and the other one, contractor muscles, helps to close the pupil. Okay. Iris sphincter muscles is the circular muscles that control the closing of the pupil. Sphincter muscles helps in closing the pupil, and the dilator muscles helps to open the pupil. In this way it changes its shape. Nerves that affect the pupil connect to the afferent pathway. Now nerves are also present there which affects the pupil. Those are connected to the afferent pathway, that pathway which passes from the eye to the brain, because when we shine a torch inside the eye, then this message will pass on to the retina and then pass on to the brain, and the pupil will respond. Okay. So these are connected to the afferent as well as afferent pathway. the pathway which receive the signals from the eye to the brain, and other one which is from the brain to the eye, because if the connection is present here properly, so in this way the pupil have to respond. All these are the functions of pupil. Next one, in bright and dim light. Now how the pupil react? In case of bright light, the pupil becomes contract and becomes smaller. Okay, as it is shown here. In the normal light condition, the shape of the pupil is this. In case of bright light, if a bright light shines, then the pupil becomes contract. In case of dim light, the pupil becomes dilate. Dilate means it becomes bigger, and it becomes smaller in case of bright light. Okay, so in this way, according to the light condition, the pupil react. In bright light it becomes smaller, and in dim light it becomes bigger. Next one, normal pupil should be. Now how the normal pupil should be? Pupil should be equal, round, reacting to light, and accommodating. Okay, pupil, both eyes pupil should be equal in shape, equally round, equally they are reacting to light, and equally they have to be accommodated. Okay, these are the responses of the pupil. Okay, next one, types of responses. We have different types of responses. First one is direct response, second one is consensual response, and third one is accommodating constriction. In case of direct response, in the normal eye the constriction of pupil is seen during torch examination, and this is known as direct response. In case of direct response, when we shine a torch, for example this one is the right eye and this one is the left eye, if we will shine a torch in left eye, then the pupil have to constrict. This one is known as direct response, because we are shining a torch on the left eye and the left eye is responding. Okay, next one is the consensual response. In this case other eye will respond consensually. In this case, if we are shining a torch in the left eye, then 50% of constriction is shown by the right eye, because we are constricting the left eye, but the message is also passed to the right eye. This one is known as consensual response. If we will take a partition in between the two eyes, then it will also give response. This response is known as consensual response. Okay, when we give a torch reflect in the left eye, then immediately see the right eye, it will also respond. It will constrict 50%. Okay, accommodating constriction. Now what is accommodating constriction? We are supposed to ask the patient that he or she will focus at the distance of 14 to 15 inches away from the eyes. Now we will take the object closer to the eyes. Okay, this one, we will take object closer to the eyes and we will see that accommodating constriction is there. Here the convergence is also present. Okay, now the patient is focusing at this point, convergence as well as constriction is there. If you can see, if you can ask the patient that he or she will look at the distance, then you are not supposed to see the constriction there. The pupil becomes dilate, but in this case the pupil will constrict. These were the end of this video. Thanks for your patience listening.